King Webmaster. I'm joined with my colleague Dan Rodham. How are you today, Dan?
Doing good. Very excited.
Great. Today we'll be showing you our Advanced Shipping Manager version 2. We've been selling our Advanced Shipping Manager for nearly 5 years, and the time has come for version 2 with a lot of new enhancements. Just to let you know, we will be taking questions at the end of the webinar. You can send in your questions to info@advancedshippingmanager.com, as you see on your screen here. We'll answer some of those questions during the webinar, and for the rest of you, we will email you a response later today. Okay, so let's get started. The purpose of the Advanced Shipping Manager, it actually has two main purposes. One is to save money, and one is to increase conversions. As you can see, it saves you money by charging accurate shipping rates. You don't undercharge your customers. You can get fewer phone calls asking how much is shipping, and shipping is calculated accurately, and this is a very important thing. The other way is, again, increase your conversions by calculating shipping accurately and not overcharging for shipping so you don't drive away customers. And it also allows you to run shipping promotions such as free shipping or shipping upgrades. And for those of you who aren't familiar with our version 1, I'll briefly run through version 1 and some of the highlights that it has to offer, and then we'll get started with the version 2 features. The first feature, and this is probably the most popular one, is the origin zip codes. If you drop ship, or if you have your products drop shipped, you know that they're not all coming from your central location. They're coming from different parts of the country. So what this allows you to do is set a unique origin zip code for each of your items. That way, when an order is placed, each of the items is calculated from the correct origin, and if an order has items coming from multiple locations, they'll each be calculated individually and added together, and the total price will be given to your customer. The next feature we have is dimensions. As you know, FedEx, UPS, Post Office, they don't charge only based on weight. They also charge based on dimensions. So this allows you to set the dimensions for your different products. The next is divide overweight orders. If a customer goes to your store and places a large order and the total weight exceeds the maximum allowed weight, let's say by UPS, which is 150 pounds, what this does is it'll divide the order into multiple shipments and then add the total together. And this is instead of giving you a 0 and then you having to call your customer and telling them that there's going to be a shipping charge. The next feature we have is FedEx and Post Office integration. As you know, Yahoo stores only come with UPS real-time rates. We give you the ability to also have FedEx and Post Office rates in your store. You can use both domestic and international rates. The next feature is free shipping. This allows you to set free shipping for any individual item in your store. You can also specify which shipping method is to be used for the free shipping. So you can say a certain item gets free UPS ground shipping only. Next we have flat rate shipping. This allows you to basically set a flat rate for each of your items. You can set which shipping method is to be used for that flat rate, and it'll override the real-time rate calculations. The next one is one of our more popular features, actually, invalid shipping methods. It allows you to block individual shipping methods from individual items. So you can do this for a number of reasons. Let's say you have a hazardous materials that cannot go on an airplane. So you can block your air shipping methods from a specific item, and if a customer ordered that item and they chose an air method, the system would tell them that they have to choose a different method because that method cannot be used.
This is very good, George, for perishable items. We have a few stores, a few merchants that are using it for the candy stores or chocolate stores. Definitely a very good feature.
Absolutely. Next here we have multiple trucking companies. For those of you that are selling really large items like furniture, you know that FedEx and UPS and the Post Office cannot do the shipping for you, and you have to use a trucking company such as Yellow or RL Carriers. Well, we support over 20 carriers, real-time rates, and we can integrate that into the Advanced Shipping Manager as well as FedEx and Post Office and UPS.
These features have served all our merchants in the past almost 5 years. Oof, it's been that long, George.
It's been a while.
Yeah, and I'm very excited to show the next features of version 2 because these are definitely going to make a difference.
Absolutely. So let's move on now and show people what version 2 does. We're going to show you not all of the features just for time constraints. We're going to show you some of the highlighted features that we think you'll like the most. This first feature, hybrid shipping rates, this is without a doubt the biggest overhaul that we've done for the Advanced Shipping Manager. We're really excited about this feature. Basically, up until now, in your Yahoo store, if you're using Yahoo Shipping or if you're using our Advanced Shipping Manager version 1, each shipping method has an assigned shipping rate. So if somebody selects 3-day delivery, 3-day delivery either would mean FedEx 3-day or UPS 3-day, etc. However, there are situations where some merchants might be using drop shippers. And if you're using a drop shipper and a customer orders a few different items from your store, those items might be coming from different locations. However, since the customer can only select one method, only that method will be used to calculate the entire order. And that won't necessarily give an accurate rate to the customer. So what we did here is we created what we call hybrid shipping rates. This allows you to set a shipping courier for each of your drop shippers or warehouses. So for example, what you see here, if a customer ordered 2 different items and they're coming from 2 different drop shippers, the customer selected 3-day air in the store. 3-day air would be mapped to FedEx Express Saver for drop shipper number 1, and it would be mapped to USPS Priority Mail for drop shipper number 2. So then the total will be added together and given to the customer. So as you can see here, $9.38 plus $6.13 gives a total of $15.51, which is an accurate rate as opposed to just showing only FedEx rates for the entire order or only UPS rates for the entire order.
So just to clarify, George, as opposed to version 1, where you could map 4 different drop shippers with different origin zip codes, you would have to choose the same method that they use in order to calculate the shipping. But here, we basically enhanced it, and we offer to map for each drop shipper the actual courier and shipping method he's going to be shipping this package with.
That's correct. In addition, another nice aspect of this, you can specify in your store, for example, all orders up to $100 pay $10 flat rate shipping. All orders over $100 use real-time rates.
This is a big feature, George. Many merchants ask me that. To combine the flat rate shipping with the real-time rates, this is enormous.
Absolutely. I remember a lot of customers asking for this, so this should really be a help to a lot of merchants. Let's move on to the next feature, drop shipper markups. This is a pretty simple one, but we had a lot of requests for this from our customers. A lot of drop shippers, they charge a drop ship fee for orders, but that drop ship fee doesn't get calculated into the shipping. So either they take a loss or they have to pad the shipping. So what we did is here we allow merchants to set a drop ship fee for each one of their drop shippers. Now they can set the drop ship fee based on an order basis, they can set it on an order value basis, or they can set it based on which items are actually in the order.
So we can cover the number of items in the dropship fee. This is definitely great. Advanced Shipping Manager just became much more accurate.
Absolutely. Let's move on to our next feature, group flat rate shipping. This is a really good feature for those of you who sell really lightweight products or small, physically small products. Let's say, like in this example, let's say you're a stationery store, you sell office supplies, that sort of thing, and you have a category in your store for pencils, pens, and markers. But you want to say anybody that buys pencils, pens, and markers, regardless of how many they buy or what combination they buy, it's always going to be $6. So in this example, let's say you buy 4 pencils, it's $6. If you buy 1 pen, it's $6. If you buy 3 pencils, 1 pen, and 1 marker, it's going to be $6. So you can set a flat rate for a group of items, or you can assign it to a category of items within your store. But you can also create groups that are not necessarily the same as categories within the store. So it's pretty flexible.
This is a great candidate also for the flat rate boxes that USPS offers, where you can fill in the box with whatever you want, and then the flat rate will remain the same no matter what's in it. You can just push many, many items in it, and the flat rate will be the same, and now the merchant can carry that discount to their customers.
Absolutely. Okay, for our next feature, we have free shipping based on order value with exclusions. What that means is, let's say you have, in this example, you have a promotion in your store that says free ground shipping on orders over $350 to the 48 states only. So if somebody places an order, they exceed $350, you give them free shipping, only if they're in the U.S. 48 states. And you can exclude specific items that you don't want to be given free shipping, such as in this example, the television. Television obviously weighs a lot. You might not want to give that free shipping. So the television in this example would be charged for shipping, and the other items that you see there would be given free shipping.
This is huge. So we can set a global setting for the website for free shipping, as we did before, but now we can actually exclude certain items from being taking into that free shipping, and they will charge shipping for those items, and the rest will get the free shipping. Plus, you can limit where it's going to, so people from Alaska, Hawaii cannot enjoy that free shipping.
Absolutely. Okay, the next one is actually a pretty interesting one. Shipping courier backup. Everybody, including ourselves, UPS, FedEx, Post Office, everything is done with a server. Server is basically just another computer like you have in your home or your office. Servers go down for many different reasons. It could be electrical failures, network problems, software problems. It could be a lot of things, but it does happen. We do our best to make sure the servers are up as much as possible, but problems happen. So what we did here was we created a backup system. If, for example, FedEx or UPS were to go down, they would back up each other. So if you're using FedEx rates in your store and FedEx's server went down, UPS rates would kick in. And vice versa. If you're using UPS, UPS went down, FedEx rates would kick in. For the post office, we did it a little bit differently since the post office rate calculations are significantly different from UPS and FedEx. For the post office, we allow you to set a flat rate for each of your shipping methods. So if the post office server were to go down, the flat rate for the method that the customer selected would kick in. As soon as the server came back up, the regular real-time rates would go back to work.
This is great, George. You know, finally our merchants can go to bed, sleep tight, without having to worry about having 0 shipping orders the next day. That's awesome.
Absolutely. So hopefully this will really help out when problems happen.
George, you know, all the features we discussed so far are great and definitely enhance the Advanced Shipping Manager with much more power. But I know we have some great add-ons that come along with V2 that can really increase conversions for our customers, for the merchants, and definitely calculate shipping more accurately.
Absolutely. So what we're going to show you now is some of the add-ons that we offer. These are not included with the Advanced Shipping Manager, but these are add-ons that we do offer separately and will work nicely with the Advanced Shipping Manager. So the first one that we have is a new one, and we had a lot of demand from this, and we learned a lot over the past few years of selling the Advanced Shipping Manager, and this should solve a lot of problems for some of our clients. What this system does is it's kind of an alternative to setting dimensions for your products, and it will really work nicely for those of you who ship your own products as opposed to using drop shippers. Let's say, like you see in this example, you have 3 different box sizes that you use in your company. You have a large box, you have a medium box, and a small box. You would assign a point value to each of these boxes. So in our example, the large box we assigned a 100-point value, the medium box a 75-point value, and the small box we assigned a 50-point value. Then you would be able to assign points to your individual items as well. So when a customer places an order, let's say they place the order like you see here on the right side, they placed an order for a digital camera, a monitor, and a laptop weighing with a point value of 10, 30, and 22, giving a total point value of 62. Our system would take that 62 points and look for the smallest available box. So obviously 62 won't fit into the 50-point box. It will fit into the 75-point box, and it will fit into the 100-point box. The 75-point box is obviously the best fit because you want to have a smaller box for to keep your dimensions lower and keep the cost of shipping down. In addition to setting the point values for the boxes, you also set the dimensions for the boxes. So with this order that we have in this example, shipping would be calculated based on the total weight of the 3 items and on the dimensions of the 75-point box.
This is great, George. So now we can calculate not only by dimensions that we have, but also by volume and combine all these large items into one box with that set of dimensions.
Exactly. Okay, our next add-on is our shipping method populator. Basically what this does is it replaces the shipping calculator that you have in the shopping cart page and the drop-down for the shipping methods in the shipping and billing page in your store. The way it works is a customer would just put in their zip code, state, and country, and instantly they would be shown all of the available and applicable shipping methods and rates that you have in your store. And when I say applicable, I mean according to all the rules. So if you block a shipping method for a specific item, it wouldn't show. If a customer is in Europe, it won't show UPS Ground. It'll only show what applies to that customer and to the items that are in the cart. And as you can see, they get all the rates and the methods listed in front of them as opposed to selecting a method, clicking apply, seeing the price. Again, selecting a method, clicking apply, and seeing the price back and forth until they decide. Here they can see it all at once. In addition to the rates and the methods, we also have another feature that we put together with this is our delivery date estimator. You can see the dates here when the product will be delivered. Now this is based on actual transit time that's received from the courier. So weekends and holidays are counted into this. We also count in your processing time and your cutoff time. So the customer will really get an accurate date of when the product will be delivered. This is especially helpful around in the holiday season when people are really concerned that they won't get their products on time. This will really tell them when the product will arrive.
This is a great feature, George, and I know we already have a few merchants using it, which reported conversion increase with this. Customers don't have to check method by method, and we also have this version for the product page, right, George?
Right. It's a very similar feature that goes on the product page, but it calculates the shipping rate and the delivery date for the individual item that the customer is looking at. This does it for the entire order.
Beautiful.
Moving on. The next add-on we have is multiple origin zip codes. Now this is a little bit different than the origin zip codes that we mentioned at the beginning of the webinar. This allows you to set multiple origin zip codes or warehouses or drop shippers for an individual item. So let's say you have a drop shipper, let's say you have an item that ships from multiple drop shippers, and you can pick which one it gets shipped from. So the way this works is it'll pick the closest drop shipper to your customer. And the idea of that is to keep the shipping cost as low as possible. In addition, we can also tie this into many different inventory systems. So our system will pick the closest drop shipper that actually has the item in stock. So this can really make things a lot easier for you with shipping in your store.
Great.
The next add-on that we have is real-time duties and taxes for international orders. Many merchants don't ship internationally, and this might be one of the reasons that you're not shipping internationally is because of the customs declarations, the taxes, and all that's involved with that. Well, this should make your life and your customer's life much easier. What this does is it allows you to calculate and charge your customers the duties and taxes for the item and for the country that they're located in. Obviously, you can save your customer the grief of receiving an item and then suddenly being surprised that they have to pay a lot of money in taxes to their government, and then having the item sent back to you and returns. Our system does this for over 40 countries. And once the webinar is over, we're going to be activating our new website, and you'll be able to see this there, and you'll be able to see a list of those countries that we offer for this feature.
George, I personally know a few merchants that actually stopped shipping internationally because of this problem. This can definitely put them back in.
Absolutely. Okay. This concludes this portion of the webinar. We showed you some of our highlighted features and add-ons. Now, I'm sure many of you want to know how much it's going to cost.
Bottom line, George.
What's the bottom line?
Yep.
We had a lot of internal debate about whether to raise the price, whether not to raise the price, and we decided we're going to keep the price the same as version 1. We're not going to raise the price at all. For those of you not familiar, the price is $250 to install the Advanced Shipping Manager, and it's $75 a month. We do not sign you to a contract. You can cancel at any time, but we're sure that you'll really like it and you won't want to cancel. But the option is always there for you. Now we're going to take some questions. We've been receiving a few questions from you watching us during the course of the webinar. So let me check with Dan. We'll see what questions we have.
Yeah, I do have one question here that we got. Will you continue supporting version 1? That's a very important question, actually.
Absolutely. We're going to support version 1 until the very last customer decides to upgrade. We're not going to put any time frame on it. You can stay as long as you want. I know some people are of the belief if it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's fine. You can stay with it, and we will continue to support it happily.
Another question I just got, a customer using Promo Manager, our other product. Will it still be supported with version 2? Are there any compatibility issues?
Absolutely. It'll work seamlessly just as it works now. There won't be any issues, and you won't have to worry about that. We'll continue to support the products fully.
We have another question here. Customer says they're California, forced 2 of their drop shippers to collect sales tax on merchandise that they ship to California for them. As you all know, the advanced shipping manager also handles taxes. The vendor charges them, but there's no way to pass this to the customer. Can they charge the additional 8% to the shipping charge for specific items? The answer is yes, using either our module for the markups, or we can do it through Avatax, which is another service that we offer as a partner company.
Okay. Well, this concludes our webinar. We thank you for joining us. Thank you for taking the time to watch it. All other questions that were emailed to us during the course of the webinar, we will answer you sometime later today. You'll get an answer via email. Please visit our website, which will be live in the next few minutes, advancedshippingmanager.com. Also see our main website, kingwebmaster.com, and our other website, promomanager.com. Again, we thank you for joining us, and we hope you enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you, George.
Thank you, Dan.